Again, okay. Oh, we are dealing with the. Master, can you just write the agenda again? We are dealing with the report of the South African Express petition. Members would know that we received a petition from the petitioner, Mr. Kasibe, also supported by about 500 workers, former workers of SA Express. And at the center of that petition was remuneration and monies that were supposed to be paid out and pensions that were supposed to be paid out. We had a number of engagements regarding that petition. We also invited stakeholders to come and brief this committee in terms of what transpired at SA Express and how do we move forward with this petition. Now, honorable members will remember that we even received a briefing from the Minister of Transport, Honorable Barbara Creasy, and we also received inputs from business practitioners. We also received inputs from the rescue people and the liquidators in the S Express matter. Master McKinsey, can you just forward the report? Members, I believe that you've received the document that we must go through today. The report now is before us. We've compiled the report, and members would know that, just go at the bottom, that we had a number of inputs and recommendations in how we move forward with this petition. Now, this report, we are preparing it and adopting it, is going to be tabled in the House. Let's go to the recommendations, Mr. Mkhize, so that members can just. The first one. Members, you'll remember that these are the recommendations that we had. The first one was to deal with the National Treasury and the Office of the Pensions Adjudicator, just on this matter to give further investigation. The second one is that investigation should also include affected stakeholders such as Department of Labor, Department of Transport, to determine if the former SA Express listed in the petition qualify for UIF and establish whether they were contributing towards the UIF. Recommendation number 3, the investigation must also deal inter alia with an audit into the number of employees from S Express had before its liquidation, and the number of S Express employees who received their benefits after this liquidation, and the assets that are held by the S Express. The fourth one is the Office of the Pensions Adjudicator to investigate the non-payment of pension and provident-related benefits to the petitioner. Number 5 is the joint liquidations to provide evidence of the unclaimed benefits fund and to provide a written report to the committee on what happened to the proceeds of the assets it was able to recover and dispose following the liquidation. The number 6, we are also saying that the investigation is to be completed within 6 months of the adoption of this report by the House. And then the last one is that following the completion of the investigation, the affected stakeholders are to appear before the committee again once more and report on the outcomes of the investigation. Now, once this report is adopted today, it will be now tabled in the House, in the Council, and then the Council will consider the matter. Members, the report is before us. I'm just going to open for any clarity, any additions, any subtractions. Is this a true reflection of how the committee is feeling regarding the SA Express petition? I'm going to note hands from the honorable members. If there are any, if members want to amend the report or to add, I note Honorable Nonkonyana. I only note Honorable Nonkonyana for now. Honorable Nonkonyana, you can, and Honorable Norway. Honorable Kherike, in that order. Honorable Nonkonyana, over to you.
Chair, it looked like
You see, you are winning because your video went on, but again, it went off again. You can proceed, Honorable Nonkonyana.
okay. No, thank you, Master. Chair, I don't know how to put this thing. I've read the report, and essentially, yes, but I would have preferred that the management committee would have met and actually, because there's so many structural or contextual amendments that are needed in that report. That's number one. Number two, I also noticed then that there's still a lot that we need to do as the committee. And then it begs in my mind a question. Must we then report, is it a mandatory that at this stage, whilst we still need to interrogate and follow up certain things, report to the council? What a problem. The other problem that I pointed out is that this meeting, when we interact with stakeholders on virtual, sometimes there are certain things that if we were physical would have probed, but because of the whatever the circumstances in which we meet, sometimes I think there's something that we need to consider, Chair, in the future. But of course, it's permissible to have the meeting on virtual platform. I've got then that feeling that really can't we then postpone the consideration of this matter, and we sit and then make sure that the product that we present to the council is what we, if we need to, because to me it looked like it's a progress report rather than the report we're mandated by the council to deal with the matter. We are telling the council, if I understand the English here, that the matter is still receiving our attention and we need to do A, B, and C, and D. Why can't we do everything that we were mandated to do and then report to the council? I'm just asking, Chair, that as it is, it should go to the council, be tabled. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Honorable Nkonyana. I'm going to take Honorable Noe. You can proceed.
Good morning, Chairperson. Good morning, honorable members, and all other people who are on the platform. Chair, I think the suggestion by Honorable Nonkonyan needs to be considered first before we can come with any other inputs, because it touches on the proceeding further with this the report. That is my view. I will hold back first. My view is that then Chair should allow engagement, although Honorable did not pinpoint except speaking in the generalization of which aspects of the report he feels they are not well covered, or the report is not well structured, because then once again, if it goes to the management committee, we don't serve in that committee, and we don't know what that committee may decide also, whether when it comes to the committee, larger committee, will we agree with. So why don't then the honorable member perhaps table what he feels is not well covered or the report is not well structured? Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Honorable Noe. I'm going to take Honorable Gerike.
Chairperson, good morning, and colleagues. Am I audible, Chairperson?
Loud and clear.
Yeah, we have a level 8 storm here in the Southern Cape, so I struggle with the visuals and the camera, if you indulge me, please.
Chairperson, yes.
Thank you. Chair and colleagues, my sentiment goes towards the previous two speakers as well, for the following reasons. This report is, respectfully I submit, that this report is very vague, number one. It's not specific. And number two, most of the role players here, and I'm not trying to cause some suspicion here, but most of these role players that we mention here that deal with this matter are somehow, they have vested interest in these type of practices. So we must be very wary when it comes to the issue of collusion and so on and so on. I thought that since this item has been brought to the committee, petitioned to us, I thought that the committee must lay down the ABCs and express the wish as to what should be done, have our own advisors, and then pin it down and submit to either the minister or whoever, and they must come up with counter proposals, and then we take it to the House. But we must go with concrete recommendations to the House as to what we want to do. Do we want to advocate for the benefit of the petitioners? Do we want a stakeholder engagement with all of them, or what do we actually want to do in order to reach a resolve? It is imperative here because, one of the recommendations here is 6 months from that engagement. So I don't know when that 6 months will expire, but we must move speedily within time because these people almost all of them are jobless, if I understand it correctly, and they are without income at the moment. It is an inconvenience that has been caused here by this airliner. They must adhere to the relevant labor relations laws of our country. They must adhere to every other law pertaining to the compensation, to the UIF fund, and so on and so on. So I think we must refine this so that we come up with stricter recommendations. But obviously, we won't be able to do it today. Maybe we must just book an extra special session for this, Chairperson, so that we have a meeting of the minds. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you very much, honourable members. On getting the move by the honourable members. This is our report, honourable members. It is our report. We've dealt with this petition. Today, it's an opportunity for us to add those issues on the report. So we will have to, unless members are saying they want to go through it again, because we must now put it in this report. We can't give it to somebody else. It's our report. It's the committee's report. And also, we're noting what Honorable Nkanyana was raising, and Honorable, the matter is a matter for the committee. So the committee must deal with this item. We invited the minister who was here. We invited the liquidators. We invited the business rescue practitioners to give us input on this matter. We even got legal advice from Parliament. We invited the legal office to assist us in terms of can we subpoena, and we subpoenaed those members. If members go through the items that were raised, the liquidation and the assets and the money that is the S Express liquidators had at the time, and they're still trying to sell the assets off and see who they can still raise the money from. So those items are our items. I just wanted to sensitize members to say we can't send this report somewhere else. We must add those items that we want to find expression in the report. So this is it's our opportunity. It's our meeting. We are given 3 hours from 10 to 1 to deal with those matters that members still feel to give this report some meat and give it the thing. So I just wanted to get suggestions from members. What are we proposing? Because we have already had meetings with the rescuers. We had inputs from the liquidators. We had inputs from the minister and from the former department. They gave us a report. Remember that S Express was still part of the Department of Public Enterprises, but with the 7th administration, that department was reconfigured and put somewhere else. So we were able to get this information. I still call them to say the director general was still there to come in and make us this input. So members will have to put the meat now in what we want to see coming out of this report. The issues of the investigation is so that those who are still in the wanting, just go up, Mr. Mkhize. we are calling for a full investigation in terms of what transpired as expressed. So I want to give members an opportunity to raise those issues. What are the issues that Honorable Nonkonyane, you feel must be captured in the report? Honorable Noe and Honorable Nonkonyane, I see your hands are still up. Honorable Gerike. I'm going to give another round. Honorable Noe.
Chair, although it was a legacy end, but based on what you have just said, I'm still gonna hear how the whip of the committee, Honorable Nonkonyan, will take us forward. But maybe to not necessarily deviating. I've gone through the report also, Chair. I could feel that perhaps somehow there could be other things that are not fully or well covered. But when I get to the recommendations, and this is what I will perhaps suggest, that I considered the recommendations really going to the heart of the problem as far as the committee is concerned, more specifically taking into account what Honorable Gerike has just said in terms of consideration of the plight of the affected employees. But the recommendations are really taking the process forward, are actually ensuring that the stakeholders do account in order to bring finality to the matter and addressing the issues that were raised by the employees. Then we can say what Honorable Gerike and Honorable Nonkonyana might have said, because this will still have to come back to us. If there is anything, and if processes will allow, the report is still ours, even if after it has gone been tabled before the House, it will still be within our hands to deal with it. But the only worry that I have is if we've got to postpone it, then we are exactly doing what Honorable Gerike is saying. The more we delay or the affected employees, we will not be doing justice to them. And this I'm also taking into account, considering the kind of pressure of work that we have and reports being too much delayed, especially of petitions. So my view is that let's adopt it with an understanding that if there is anything, like I'm saying, subject to if other processes will allow, we can always continue working on this report. But I would like to see these recommendations being immediately implemented so that we know and the workers can see that the NCOP has actually kickstarted something that will make the stakeholders account. Sorry to be long, Chair. Thank you.
No, thank you very much, Honorable Noel. You are on point. Thank you for that move and those inputs. Honorable Nonkonyane is the legacy hand.
Chair, it's not.
Or should we allow other members in? I see Honorable Mananiso's hand is up and Gerike, and then it will come after them.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Honorable Gerike and then Honorable Mananiso.
Yeah, thank you, Chairperson. Chair, I stand to be corrected, but I think the committee must express their wish in terms of what we want to achieve. Not necessarily choosing sides, but standing in terms of the principle of justice for the petitioners, and then we need to work around this. If we say that we want the petitioners to be paid, then we must work around that recommendation. Coupled with that, we must then post the question to the liquidators that they must say, this must be part of the recommendation, that they must say, what have they discovered? Have they got liquid cash? Are there still other products available in the organization that must be sold off? And what is the value of that? And how can it meet the needs of the 500 or 800 employees, so to speak? And how can we assist them? The fact that this SA Express belonged to a former department makes it easier, because this department should have applied the law. This department should have applied the law in every aspect. When it comes to UIF, when it comes to unemployment, it doesn't matter what it is, Chairperson. This department is a party to this dispute, and they should also be held accountable. And I think we must then wrap our minds around this and project or design our recommendations in such a way that we invite them to say we object here, or we agree here, or we concede here, so that we arrive at a resolution, Chairperson. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Honorable Honorable Mananiso. I note Honorable Machobeni as well.
Thank you, Honorable Chairperson. Chair, I think one of the things that you must note is the continuous concern about the issue of Mango. Let us not avoid it. Just note it, and you and Honorable Nonkonyani make sure that you deal with it, because it will continuously be an issue that you get your whip not accepting what you are bringing before us, because of that's how it needs to happen. That you sit, you discuss and deal with other issues. I think if you could have dealt with that matter, we could have not find ourselves where we are. Number two, I think you saw me when I was clapping hands when Honorable Peter was speaking. According to me, the reason why I didn't want to raise my hand is because I've read the report, noting what we have undertaken in taking this particular matter procedurally before the committee. And one wants to say that, indeed, as Honorable Noah could have said, the recommendations are covering what we need to do and what we said according to the deliberations that we've got from all parties that we were engaging. And one would want to say to this collective that now it's another step where, as this collective, we need to accept this report and consider it for procedure of taking it to the NCOP, so that the House can then take cognizance of that report. So the after effects or program of action will come after, as we did with the one of Magogo. It will come after, where we now following up with the National Treasury on their role. If there's somebody that we need to call from that side, would come and then speak on issues that we think that we need answers from that particular department. So I want to say the problem that makes me hang is the fact that maybe Honorable Nonkonyane, as the learned friend, wants to then speak on matters of the context in terms of legalities. So, and if he doesn't make inputs, then we don't know what are the issues that we cannot adopt this particular report. So, I want to second the report, saying that these recommendations are actually covering the engagement and the expression of the committee, because at the core is the interest of the petitioners, of those who are still waiting for their monies, and issues that we asked during the engagement of assets that were disposed, and we wanted just clarity on them. We have given actually the clarity of how much were some asset, those that were disposed, how much money did they generate from those particular assets. So what we need to do is after to check if there are still some assets that are just lying somewhere, perhaps based on the fact that they were not registered or they are valueless. So those are the things that can come after this process has been taken through from the NCOP. But I want to second the report that on recommendations is the work that needs to be done after the process has been taken from the NCOP, as Honorable Noe could have said. Lastly, that if we delay to accept this particular report, we are delaying the process of the work that the committee needs to do in terms of finalizing this particular petition. Thank you, Chairperson.
Thank you very much, Honorable Manoniso. Then we're going to take Honorable Machobeni.
No, Chair. Greetings, Honorable Chair, and greetings to honorable members. Chair, sorry, man, I won't open my video
No,
because
it's fine. You can proceed, Honorable
yeah, there's
Machobeni.
no network. No, Chair, I won't say anything. Honorable Manani so covers me.
Thank you very much.
So yes, thank you.
Thank you. And then I'm going to hand over to Honorable Nonkonyana.
Chair, I must thank you, Chair, again, and thank the honorable members for their input. Let me then open up and why I am of the view that it will be premature at this stage to submit the report of this kind to the council. One, Chair, if you read paragraph 1, for instance, which is, I took it towards the end, the Select Committee on Public Petitions and Executive Undertaking Consideration and Resolution. And that's one. In other words, we need to consider the petition and come up, in my view, with concrete findings and recommendation to the council. That's one. Two, to set out what petitioner has said and everything else, I have no qualms about it. But there's a question of the rescue practitioners. The members will recall that on the question of the rescue petitioners, we raised a particular point. Were they to rescue or were they to liquidate? What steps have they done to rescue the sinking ship, as it were? I don't want to go to those minutes and things like that, but I'm not satisfied then that, in fact, they did what they should have done. Two, then there's an issue of liquidation. The liquidation is a legal process in terms of the Insolvency Act, we all know. But on liquidation, when you liquidate an entity that affects the employees are preferred creditors. They paid first, you see, and before anyone else. In this report, this is not clear as regards, but let's go then to the recommendations as well. I just wanted to highlight few things. I'm going to forgo the text question there, the typographical errors. I'm not going to dwell with those. But let's just see, for instance, the very key recommendation from us. One, on 7.1 members, we are saying the National Treasury and the Office of the Pension Funds Adjudicator are to spearhead and urgent investigations into the issues raised in the petition. The basis of that, I'm not so sure. Because I thought that we have got an oversight responsibility to the government ourselves. Why must we relegate this thing to spearhead the investigation by the National Treasury and the Office of the Pension Funds? Will they be capable or able to do that? I'm not so sure. In my mind, hence I thought that we would actually how can I put it, consider this and critically evaluate this to find whether it is really feasible to address the concerns and the plight of the employees that honorable members correctly point out is a concern to everyone here. And then the other two says the investigation is to include all the affected stakeholders. That is the Department of Labor and Department of Transport to determine its former SAA. The question is, the Treasury and the Office of the Pension Fund, do they have power to summon these ministers, this department and UIF to qualify whatever? I'm not so sure in my mind. Hence I was thinking then that to me, to present this thing as it is, yes, it leaves me cold. I must put it that way. But if the members are of the view that no, it's okay, well, my reservations can be recorded. That's all. But I will not object. But I'm of the view that we need to refine, fine-tune this thing on the issue raised by Honorable Noe. That this matter, I was suggesting that it must be go to management, and no, I was suggesting that if we had time, we would have met as management. I would have actually made my input. That's what that's the essence of what I was saying, so that when we come here, Chair, and then the concerns from the legalese, as well as my responsibilities, of course, as the whip of the committee, I'm able then at least to recommend some in support of this committee of this report to the members. And at this stage, I'm not really feeling comfortable to do that, and hence I'm of the view that if it was going to take into the Menko this afternoon, it could come back to the committee. No, Menko cannot decide for the committee. The Menko can only recommend the committee. It is the responsibility and the power of this committee to consider this report in its entirety. That was really the import of what I was trying to say. But honorable members, if we're of the view that let us pass it, well, I will not. As I say, my reservation will be noted. Thank you, Chairman.
Thank you very much, Honorable Nonkoyene, for those inputs, noting from the honorable members. The only thing maybe I wanted to ask Honorable Nonkoyene, the capacity for us as a committee to do the investigation is not I don't think the capacity to go to that level. And the issue that Honorable Gerika was raising, they are captured in 7.5, especially of the assets, and to present evidence. And I think that's what members want to see. To say, if you're saying these are the evidence, give us the evidence of those things. And the power that this report now, it will be now Parliament instructing them to be able to give us that information. So most of the issues that members have raised, I captured. My worry is that, and I think Honorable Noah touched that point to say there is an urgent matter. We received this petition last year already, and there are people who are out there who are still waiting for answers. And we as Parliament, and particularly we as the NCOP, cannot fail them. They are looking up to us with this matter to make sure that we move with speed. Then I wanted to find out from I see the hand of Honorable Noah. You want to come in, Honorable Noah?
Yes, Honorable Chairperson.
You can proceed.
Once again, thank you, Honorable Chief Whip. Whip, Honorable Nonkoyan. Based on the two aspects that Honorable has pointed to, I'm not sure if Honorable will it not be covered by saying, even though perhaps you might be having reservation whether the recommendations that the committee is putting forward, have we satisfied ourselves enough that the references that we are making to deal with the matters as recommended, whether they have got powers or they will be able to do that? My view is that because, as Honorable Chair has just said, based on our capacity as a committee and as the House, whether will we be able to do what we are recommending here in terms of the investigation. My view is that if National Treasury and pension funds adjudicator feels that it is not their territory or they will not be able to do that, then I want to believe that maybe they will either point us which is the relevant government structure that will be able to do this. My understanding is that because it affects the funds, and those two offices are therefore relevant to establish whether the processes that were followed on closing business of this institution of government, have they done what they are was supposed to be done? This they will be doing it. I think so on behalf of the committee. So by referring all these things to them, it is therefore for the committee to for the institutions to enable the committee to do that. Because if you look at I think it's 7 point sorry, Chair, there's a paragraph here of the last one, 7.7. Following the completion of the investigation, the affected stakeholders are to appear before the committee and report on the outcomes of the investigation as well as a proposed way forward. So in other words, hence I said the report is still in our hands, but we are using these state institutions to assist the committee to further ensure that justice is done to the affected employees. So that is my view, that it may appear vague in terms of possibly the legal jargon, but for the purposes of the work that we did in interrogating and engaging with the petition, I think these recommendations are processing further what we have listened to from the stakeholders. Lastly, Chair, I think Honorable will remember that the liquidators or the what is the other ones that came before the liquidators? No, the structure that comes before the liquidators.
Isn't the rescuers, the business rescuers?
Yeah, the rescuers in the report, in this very report, it is indicating that the rescuers, they rescue an entity. They came in after being appointed with an understanding that they are going to rescue an entity that it still has a chance of being revived. But as they go through within the documents and the status of the institute, they found that there's nothing to rescue here. This thing is dead. Their role can only be relevant if this thing still has got a future. So they did their work and found that this thing is dead. It can't be revived. Hence, then they referred it the next process, which is liquidation. And the liquidators also went through their own processes and found that when they applied to the court based on the information, then the court gave them a go-ahead that let this thing be liquidated. There's no life here. So I will want to believe that those two institutions did their work, and hence we are where we are. And therefore, in order for us to represent the petitioner further on and ensure that every other angle is covered to deal with the issues petitioner raised, then these government institutions, they let them help Parliament to make sure that justice is done. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you very much, Honorable Noe. Members, I don't see any more hands. Were those inputs received and the issues that were raised?
Sorry, Chair.
Sorry,
can you just show what the hands? Then
I struggle to raise my hand here on my gadget, Chair. Sorry for this. Apology.
Okay.
I struggle
I'll
with my
take on.
gadget.
All right, I'll take Honorable Herrick and then Honorable Nonkoyan.
Yeah, Chair. I thank the members for their inputs. It's valuable inputs. The recommendations, if the committee goes with the recommendations today, I can't move my gadget and I actually did not memorize and I can't see it here. But if the committee goes with the recommendations today, we must explicitly then state and strongly note what the whip of the committee is set. That in no uncertain terms, we must state that after we have tabled the recommendations and the report to the House, it must be written in some way that there will be a different or another process that will be unfolding, engaging different role players. It is imperative that we keep that the report doesn't die in the House. That's not the last report. It's imperative that we keep it alive in terms of further engagements with other stakeholders and with state departments as well, Chairperson. It's imperative. And then after that, we must decide how do we go forward and how do we articulate on behalf of the petitioners. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Honorable Herrick. Honorable Nonkoyan.
Chair, I'll be brief. Thank you, honorable members. I think it's very, very good, this robust debate. Members, we are entrusted by NCOP to deal with the petition and come up with the conclusion of the petition. And in so doing, I have no problem. We could place it to say we're still considering the matter, and this is an updated, what we call preliminary findings pending this further investigation. Where I have a problem, and is the National Treasury and the Office of the Pension Fund. Are they having powers in terms of the statute or whatever the regulations to investigate this matter on our behalf, having been entrusted? That is the worrying question in my mind. And then secondly, the power of a liquidator in an insolvent company are more and above that of the Treasury, as well as a pension fund adjudicator. You see, and hence, to me, then the issue why we are entrusting this to the National Treasury, because the Parliament is going to rely on us. If you are saying, Chair, that we did receive a legal opinion from Parliament that paragraph 1 is a correct one, then I will withdraw without any hesitation, having stated my mind. Hence, I'm still of the view that unless the agents of the matter, this is a matter that, as my members correctly say, is still in our hands. Why can't then we pursue this matter which is still in our hands? Because we do have power to subpoena anybody. We have got the power to interrogate anybody, be it the department, be it an entity. The last point, Chair, of Honorable Noah's point, SAA, this is a subsidiary, because the petitioner raised a point that you, government, you have effected an unfair discrimination because the employees of SAA were in the similar or worse situation than us, but at least you did your best. The SAA is now back, and of course, the employees have got everything. But we, being a subsidiary of that same company, you are now adopting a different strategy altogether. Then you are not correct. We need to come up with a determination as this committee. Is the government correct and the liquidators is correct? Because to me, that is a matter we need not to avoid. And lastly, there is an issue here of the state capture, whatever. Which one we must really, if we had a researcher to me in this committee to have research on these matters and empower us, I would also have been feel much better, because we interrogated we had the petitioners, we had all whatever, but we needed to have some aspects within Parliament to help us, to empower us, so that when we table a recommendation in the council, and then the council must really feel, and in fact we must also feel, and the council must really feel that indeed we did apply our mind on the matter, and we are advising it correctly. Remember, on that day, it will be only the chairperson that is going to table this matter, unless, of course, the provinces would like to say whatever they would like to say, but and then and it is adopted like that. There's no way that the members of the council are going to go as we need to go through it. Hence, Chair, I must not take the matter any further than that, but at least leave it that. I've just clarified my point, which has not changed. But as I say, I respect the will and the views of the majority in this matter. I will abide by it as the whip of this committee. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you very much, Honorable Nonkonyana, for your point. I just want to assist also members that if you go to the recommendation 6 and 7, it speaks about this matter being ongoing. So just to allay those fears, it's not now going to just go and vanish into thin air, because we are specific and explicit. We are saying the investigation is to be completed within 6 months of the adoption of this report by the House. And 7 even further goes to say, following the completion of the investigation, the affected stakeholders are to appear before the committee and report on the outcomes of the investigation, as well as propose a way forward. So it's a living document. This matter is still going to go through it. It's just a process that we need to report back, because remember also, the word comes from the presiding officer of the House. It refers to us. We need to report back to our boss, who's now the chairperson of the NCOP, to say we received this petition, we heard from all sides, and we're not taking anybody's sides. We have received this information. We are now asking further that this matter must be thoroughly done. And some of the recommendations are very explicit, because if you look at, I think it's recommendation number 5, it speaks about the audit. And I spoke about it earlier on to say that there must be evidence presented to the committee to say in terms of the assets and the benefits. And why National Treasury? National Treasury is the custodian of the public purse of our country. So they are at the center of the finance of this country, as well as the pensions in terms of, and the pensions are also an entity in Treasury. So I believe, and I'm comfortable in that way. And we also touch base with the legal council of parliament to make sure that all of these matters are covered in that matter. So I just want to allay members' fears in terms of the issues that were raised. Honorable Anowe, you can proceed.
Thank you again, Chair. Thank you, Honorable Nonkonyana. I think, as you said, the robustness of the debate helps to unpack and clarify further on where maybe certain things might be obscured. While I'm still agreeing with the initial proposal that we process, but what you have just said, I just want to check with you, through you, Chair, whether perhaps maybe on point 1, the National Treasury and Pension Fund, Honorable was saying, before we can say they should do so, we should have called them to the committee to engage them and have a common understanding that when we say to them to go and do this, it should be a recommendation that comes out of an engagement rather than recommending that they go and do what we did not discuss with them. Maybe if if it is the suggestion of the honorable member and considering time, that I will agree that we are calling upon the two institutions to do something that we have not engaged with them. And the other part that honorable has raised, which I also thought about it, but I thought this investigation will include it. As much as it is not covered here, maybe we can include it. The issue of the SAA being dealt with differently than SA Express, as the workers say. In other words, it should have been incumbent of the committee to ask the SAA or the government to provide evidence of the allegation, so that as the committee, we will have investigated that allegation by the workers, and because it forms basis of their complaint. And if we process these recommendations, then I will then suggest, Chair, it should be included that government, in other words, department, must actually account or confirm or deny that indeed the SAA was dealt with as per the allegations of the employees, or we call upon a written reply based on that allegation. So that is the area where I feel and hear what Honorable Nonkonyan is saying. But then the question is, if we delay the submission of the report, then we consider those three areas of the Treasury, pension adjudicator, and the information that will confirm or prove otherwise based on that allegation of having SA been treated differently. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you very much, Honorable Noe, for those inputs. There are three key issues that are coming out from the members. One is to get a input, and I think the Honorable Nonkoina touched on it, particularly when issue of research, thorough research, for us to have an internal research in terms of what transpired. That's what I'm getting. Number two, Honorable Noah, is the issue of the investigation of people that we have not engaged first. So I'm getting a sense that maybe we should also have invited Treasury to come to us and give us further inputs on this matter before we table that report. Members, I just want to get that sense. Then maybe we say we pause for the adoption of the report to explore those avenues. I just would like to get some guidance from members. What is the avenues? We do internal research. That was Honorable Nonkayana's raising, and explore even those issues that you raised in terms of the bodies that will do the investigation. Honorable Noah is bringing an important issue to say we probably should also have had engagements with them. And now you also bring the issue of SAA onto the table before now this matter is tabled in the House. I would like to get a sense from members, is it how we move, that maybe we pause and then we explore those avenues, or we amend the recommendations to cover those issues. And maybe Ms. Onramronga can assist us in terms of the bodies. But the brief that I've received is to say that those bodies are the APX in terms of the finance of the country. Can I get hands? Honorable Pala? We haven't heard from Honorable Pala. Over to you, Honorable Pala.
Thank you, and good morning, honorable members. Yes, Chair, I've been listening, comrades, honorable members, as engagement, and I really align myself with the idea that we need to explore this matter further. We are dealing with a very sensitive matter which may land us or may end up going to courts. And when it goes to court, then the NCOP will also be cited. So I would say I agree with what you just said here, that let's explore the matter further. Let's engage those departments. Let's invite them to come before the committee. And perhaps I would as well say, let's request our legal advisors to draw us a criteria to follow as this committee, as an NCOP, so that when we deal with this matter at the end, we must be able to tick all the boxes and say we have done this, we have done this, we have done this, because the matter is sensitive. It's a matter of death and life and death for the petitioner. So let's treat it in that way, Chair. So I fully support that the view that let's explore it further before we can make a final report. Thank you.
Thank you very much, honorable members. Honorable Noah, I don't know, is it a legacy hand? Oh, it's a legacy hand. All right, members, the move from the committee and the feel in the committee is one. And I want Mr. Mkhize, you must note the outcomes of this meeting. We put the report in abeyance. That's the first thing. And then in abeyance to consider further research on the matter in terms of further information. Number two is to get a legal brief or a legal counsel or input from Parliament's legal services in terms of the criteria and how we proceed with this one. And then those will be the issue that we will explore. And once we've had those engagements, we also said we wanted to get engagements from National Treasury. So members, you must just guide me to just say, did I capture these points well? Number one is to get further inputs from National Treasury, and then we'll just make /SAA. They must come and brief this committee in terms of what transpired then. Number two, we consider some research on the matter and we get legal opinion. Those are the three items. And then we will be able to formulate then an informed report, then we table it in the NCOP. I think I've captured those matters in that manner. Mr. Mkhize, just make sure you capture that. Honorable Mananiso, I hope you're assisting us. Over to you.
Thank you, Chairperson. Yes, I'm part of the team. So with noting all the engagement and your summary, yes, indeed, members are agreeing that let's explore those three avenues that you have just tabled, that we call the National Treasury and SAA, just to get sense what is it that they were involved in with regards to this matter. Number two, indeed, the legal advisor or legal counsel from the from Parliament that would actually get this particular report by today, maybe, to just explore the work that has been done and what we're supposed to be doing after this particular session. I think that would be proper. Number three, one of the things that I've noted when Honorable, I think Herik was speaking, or Honorable Nonkonyan, let's just say that we are concluding with this matter that we would perhaps call a special meeting for this item, so that at least we must find ourselves within the period that this particular matter is expected to go through the NCOP council, so that at least we are not, as well as Honorable Noe could have said, that we are working on a tight schedule, so we don't want to be seen like underperforming or just delaying matters based on some legalities and stuff. So I just want to say that let's agree as well as this collective that we agree on the special meeting with regards to this particular report, so that at least we don't delay even other committees, noting that maybe that special meeting won't sit when we know that members are going for other joint sittings, but we know that a certain time slot will be given for us with regards to this particular matter. And lastly, the issue of the assets, perhaps we would need to just gather more information from Kanyiso on that presentation that was given to us, to say from the assets that were there, the money that was collected through auction and selling, it was this much. So how many are just laying, not valuable and stuff? Because of on that day, I remember we didn't have details around those that couldn't be disposed properly for value for money or other things, or what happened to them, so that at least we know that there's nothing that it's just there and unused yet. There's money that can be regenerated and these petitioners can be paid. Thank you.
Thank you very much, honorable members. We have agreed. We move in that order. Honorable Noe, you'll be the last to speak on this. I see your hand is up. Over to you.
Yeah, Chair. A quick one. I was just merely saying in your summary, pertinently, you left out the pension funds adjudicator. Whether we send out a communique to the adjudicator to establish, or whether we call them to the committee and brief them about the petition concern, which is covering their area, and then formally from the committee meeting, they are then requested to go and do the investigations and report to the committee, or whether we send them an explanatory note around the concerns and request them when they appear, they should bring information as per the allegation of the workers that they did not receive it. I'm not sure, but maybe going forward, you'll also in processing it, it should be determined whether they come before to listen to us, or when they come already with answers that will have been framed for them to bring to inform the committee regarding the area of the pensions. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Honorable members, I think based on the inputs from members, one would be to have another sitting. And then Honorable Manani, so we'll just stick to our committee slots. Our committee slot is a Tuesday between 10 and 1. We'll have to make sure we slot us in our allocated space. And at that meeting, we only deal with this matter those state entities. We spoke about Treasury, we spoke about SAA, we also speak about the pension fund to come and give us that input. I think that will be the proper honor to do it. And indeed, the legal counsel should not take very long. In actual fact, I'm going to lead those and facilitate those things today, even from this meeting. It's just for us to write a letter and give the supporting documents so that the legal department can give us that input. And also our researcher, we've got a committee researcher. We'll just make a letter to her, and then she must just explore those matters. And also maybe from the research team, because they are a team they are working with. And then we will have another meeting with all this information and all those stakeholders, and then we'll make a determination from there. I think we'll move in that order. Thank you very much, honorable members. Mr. Mkize, let's move to the other agenda points. Just highlight for us there that we keep this report in abeyance with those information, and then we will deal with them in our allocated committee slots. The first set of minutes, honorable members, is the ones of the 17th of February, 2026. It was at 10 o'clock on the virtual platform. We had the opening and we considered some items. These are the honorable members who were there, the support staff. I don't move too fast and just go to the bottom. And these were the issues that were considered. And then we had the first draft of minutes of the 9th, and then we closed the meeting. Just go to the bottom. And that was the meeting was adjourned at 10:10. Members, those are the first sets of minutes that we need to consider and adopt. Can I have a mover? Honorable Noe?
I move, Chair.
Thank you very much. Honorable Nonkwanen, I see your hand is up. Do you support the move?
Chair, I support subject to the whip of the committee being recorded. That is still a whip. In all those minutes, it's just that the whip is not provided there. That is a whip. Otherwise, I'm agreeing. That friendly amendment.
Thank you very much, Honorable Nonkonyan. Mr. Mkize, I hope there's consistency there.
I apologize on that one, Chair.
From Honorable Nonkonyan. Thank you very much. Can you give us the second set of minutes? Then we had another meeting on the 17th of March 2026. It was also on the virtual platform. Just go up a little bit. We are moving fast. And we were dealing with the SAMU petition from KwaZulu-Natal. Go down. These were the members who were here. Again, there, Mr. Mkize, please record the committee whip as such. Thank you very much. You can go to the bottom. And these were the stakeholders that were part of our meeting. Move. And then we dealt with the agenda and the matter before us. Go down. You can move, Mr. Mkize. And we had these items before us and we dealt. Move to the bottom, and these were the submissions that were made to the committee. And we had those deliberations with members, and the meeting was adjourned at 12:26. Can I have inputs, members, corrections, clarity to correct these minutes? As a true reflection of the meeting of the 17th of March. Any hands?
Thank you, Chairperson.
Honorable Mananiso, you can
Yes,
proceed.
Chair. I would like to move for adoption of the minutes as a true reflection of the meeting. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Mananiso. Can we have a seconder? Honorable Nonkono.
I do, Chair. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
As stated by yourself. Well.
Thank you very much from the committee with. Honorable members, those were the two sets of minutes. Mr. Mkize, fly the agenda. Can you fly the agenda again for us? We have duly considered and adopted the draft minutes. And then the last item, number 4, is closure. Honorable members, thank you very much for the robust debate in this meeting this morning, robust engagements. We are learning from each other as we are serving South Africans and we are serving the Parliament of the Republic of South Africa. I want to thank everybody on the platform, honorable members, our committee whip, our support staff, Mr. Mkize, Ms. Fakir. I didn't see Ms. Namsha today on the platform. Mr. Majosi from the Parliamentary Communication Services. We really appreciate your assistance to this committee. Members, for those words, I would like to call this meeting and close it, call for the adjournment of this meeting. Enjoy the rest of the day. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Chair.
Thank you,
Yeah, thank you,
Chairperson.
sir.
Thank you, Chairperson.
Thank you,
Thank
Chair.
you.
Greetings.
Bye, thank you, Mkherike.
Leave the Chair.
Long live the chair.
Recording